This is the first of 3 videos I'm making on playing with status in horror films. Victim and villain tend to be a crucial underpinning to a lot of horror narratives, and generally victims tend to have a low status whereas villains have a higher status. Although, as you're about to find out in these videos, the distinction is not as clear as that. I'm going to start off by talking a bit about the concept of the victim and villain. By the very nature of there being a victim character, there has to be a villain. For instance, in horror films there's always someone playing the monster or the murderer, someone doing the haunting, and then there's always someone playing the one being haunted or running from the scary character. This setup works in other narrative forms as well. For instance, in crime dramas you've got the criminal and the detective. The interesting thing is, in both these types of narratives, the perceived villain has been a victim in some way, and that is what makes their character who they are. The villains are not as straightforward as they might seem on the surface. No character is ever two-dimensional. For me, it's about the relationship between those two characters. But I'm going to discuss this dichotomy in a later video. I just wanted to introduce you to the themes to start off with. For now, in this video, we're going to focus on playing the victim in horror and how I've approached these roles in my own films. I always find a good way to approach any role that has two opposing energies is to think about the status of these characters. It's this that forces me to think about their relationship, not just the individual roles alienated from everything else. Yes, the victim in horror is scared, but they're scared of the scary thing that the viewer is scared of too. As an actor, I don't focus solely on the victim themselves, but on the relationship with the character making them the victim. It's that relationship for me that is an integral part of playing the victim. So how do we approach status when we're acting? Well, status is something that can be physically obvious in the body. I tend to focus on the body to begin with. It helps me get into the appropriate headspace sometimes. For instance, someone feeling nervous would fidget and maybe have tensed muscles. Someone relaxed and confident would have a softer brow and maybe relaxed shoulders. Even in the way a high status character sits is different from that of a low status character. I'm going to talk about high status characters in more detail in another video, so for now we're going to focus on the body language of a low status character. Okay, so how does a person of lower status move? Generally speaking, a character of lower status would not initiate contact easily. This could be eye contact, physical contact, or verbal contact. Their body is physically closed off or protected. They could touch their hair, clothes, or face while they talk. I've got an example of these characteristics here. In this short film, the character I'm playing is undergoing an experiment where she's forced to confront her own reflection, something she is irrationally terrified of. Notice the tension in the body as she walks through the shopping centre, as she's closing her body off and doesn't want to be touched or interacted with. I mean, not only is she trying not to initiate contact, but she's attempting to avoid it altogether. She fidgets, she plays with her hands, and touches her head as she walks. The lower status characters or victims also tend to demonstrate incomplete thoughts. They'll rarely finish sentences in a complete thought or breath. They also move a lot more erratically than the person of higher status. I've got another clip here to demonstrate what I mean.
I don't understand. Just let me go.
This is the only way.
What do you mean?
I mean that it must be this way.
Wait, just untie me. Just please.
I am just really sorry.
Notice in the scene how my character stutters. She can't seem to finish a complete sentence. I mean, the panic distracts her. Thanks for watching. That's just a little bit about how I approach playing the victim in a horror film setting. I'll be talking more about this in various forms in later videos anyway. So stay tuned for parts 2 and 3 of this 3-part series in acting in horror films. This first part has just been about playing the victim, the next part's going to be about playing the villain, and the third part is going to be about playing these two characters together, how the two relate, as we will find out.